You know how a single thought can just get stuck in your head and all of a sudden it changes how you see, well, everything? Today, we're diving into a story about exactly that. It's called The Math Curse, and it's all about how one student's world got hilariously flipped upside down, turning into one giant math problem after another. All right, so picture this. It's a totally normal Monday and a completely ordinary math class, but one single sentence is about to change the game. This is where it all begins. This is where the curse is cast. And there it is. That's the sentence that kicks everything off. The teacher, Mrs. Fibonacci, says something that sounds pretty harmless, right? Maybe even a little inspiring. But for our main character, this one little idea is about to completely take over their life. And boom, the very next morning, the curse claims its first victim, the daily routine. Waking up, getting dressed, that's not just a series of actions anymore. Nope, it's a time-based calculation. The clock is ticking, and what used to be automatic is now a word problem that needs an answer, like right now. But it doesn't just stop with the morning schedule. Oh no, the curse starts to spread, and it infects every single corner of the day, creating, well, a world of problems. All of a sudden, something as simple as getting dressed turns into this combinatorial crisis. The question isn't just, what should I wear anymore? It's, how many shirts is that? And probably, how many outfits can I make? And, why does Uncle Zeno keep sending me these ugly plaid shirts? And the curse just keeps getting worse. It is absolutely inescapable. Taking milk out for cereal, that's not about breakfast anymore. It's a sudden, urgent quiz on units of measurement. How many quarts in a gallon? Pints in a quart? Our hero doesn't even want to touch the cereal, probably terrified of having to calculate how many flakes are in the bowl. Of course, school is no escape. Mrs. Fibonacci puts up this class birthday chart. A normal kid, sees a list of birthdays. Our protagonist, they see a bar graph that is screaming for immediate analysis. Which month has the most? The fewest? Is there a statistical anomaly in February? The data is everywhere, and it all wants an answer. And this is how the mind starts to spiral when it's under the curse. It's not just about the raw numbers anymore. The brain starts seeing patterns inside of other patterns. The bar chart literally transforms into a city skyline, and the very shape of the data becomes yet another problem to solve. Then at lunchtime, the curse decides to level up, and it introduces a brand new nightmare: fractions. A pizza is cut into eighths, a pie is cut into sixths. Suddenly, even asking for a slice is a complex mathematical equation. It's a total mess. The curse follows our student right out of the cafeteria and onto the sports field. Phys ed becomes a statistical showdown. Here we've got Babe Ruth from 1919 versus an average player from 1991. You've got home runs, batting averages, wildly different salaries. The question is no longer about playing the game. It's about how you can possibly define greatness using just numbers. And this is where it all gets just wonderfully absurd. In social studies, the topic is the Mississippi River. The problem? You have to estimate how many tiny 1-centimeter M&Ms it would take to measure its entire 4,000-kilometer length. I mean, it's a ridiculous, impossible task that just perfectly captures that feeling of being completely and totally overwhelmed. So, by the end of the day, our hero is just done. Totally defeated. The constant calculations, the never-ending stream of problems, it's all just too much. The declaration is simple, but it's profound. I am a math zombie now. It really seems like the curse has won. But this brings us to the turning point. That night, in a dream, our protagonist finally confronts this numerical nightmare. And the escape, which is just brilliant, doesn't come from avoiding math. It comes from using it in a way no one could have possibly expected. So imagine this. You are trapped in a room. There are no doors, no windows, and the walls themselves are covered, floor to ceiling, with every single math problem that's been torturing you all day. This is the ultimate prison of anxiety, a room literally built out of problems. And here is the genius solution. The key isn't more calculation, it's creative thinking. Our hero takes the one piece of chalk they have and snaps it in half. Then, using the logic of fractions, the same thing that was a nightmare at lunch, they put the two halves back together. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole. So they draw a hole on the wall and jump out. It's just this fantastic leap of logic that turns the problem into the solution. And with that one clever escape, everything changes. The protagonist wakes up and there's no fear. Instead, there's this brand new perspective. The curse, it's been broken. And this slide just shows the transformation perfectly. On Tuesday, the morning routine was a huge problem. On Wednesday, the exact same situation is a solution. The time is calculated, and the reaction is just 7:41, no problem. The facts didn't change, but the mindset is completely different. By facing the curse head-on and using its own logic to find a creative way out, our hero is no longer a victim. They're empowered. The statement, "I can solve any problem," shows this total shift from anxiety to pure confidence. Math is no longer a curse, it's a tool. But just when you think our story has this perfect, happy ending, we get this fantastic twist. Life is great, everything is solved, until science class. And the teacher, a Mr. Newton, says, you can think of almost everything as a science experiment. And you can just feel it. It's all about to start over again. It's a hilarious reminder that every subject is really just a different lens for looking at the world. And that brings us to a final thought, really. The math curse started out as something terrifying, but in the end, it forced a whole new way of seeing and solving problems. So it kind of makes you wonder, what curse, what particular way of thinking helps you see your own world in a brand new way?